Is up, guys? Me again, time for another Around the World in 80 Days. Chapter 15, Ghost Town Gunfight. Everyone except Mr. Fogg watched as the train approached the bridge at high speed. Passepartout crossed his fingers. Aurora hardly dared to look. The train roared towards them at top speed. The bridge just ahead. The passengers had hide their eyes. The train reached the bridge and raced into it. The bridge cracked and shuddered dangerously, and halfway across when suddenly an ear-splitting crack was heard. The passengers watched as part of the bridge that the train had just crossed collapsed and fell to the reptiles far below. Passepartout, it seems that the collapsing bridge was chasing the train for every few yards. The train traveled a similar stretch of bridge collapse behind it. The bridge was starting to fall apart in constant confusion, but the train thought to tread on. At last, the steaming locomotive was over. Then, one by one, the carts left behind it, and it reached it safely. Just as the engineer slammed on the brakes, the rest of the bridge fell pieces with a terrible crash. The train came to a halt, and the passengers cheered. Phileas Fogg looked up from his diary. That was nothing to worry about. There was nothing to worry about, or was it? He said quietly. Passepartout put his head and a hand to his heart, and shook his head. "I don't know how you can be so calm, monsieur," he said. The passengers rejoined the train, and their journey continued on. That evening, they passed Fort Station in Evening Pass, the highest point of their journey. The next day, before dawn, the train stopped at a ghost town in Donald to take on water. As the sun began to rise, Mr. Fogg decided to take a short walk. The snow had fallen, and every evening looked crispy and white. "You'd better be careful out there," warned the conductor. Some of our passengers have been robbed in this old place." Phileas Fogg wasn't concerned, but he did. He did take Passepartout carrying his old green carpet. Fix joined them for a company. The town of Donald consists of just a main street with some rectangular old buildings on either side. The three men left the train and walked slowly down the street. They soon came to a old hotel. The doors at the front were swinging half off their hinges. "Foot paint! Foot paint!" cried Passepartout, suddenly pointing to the ground. There were 3 sets of prints in the snow, all leading to the hotel. I think it's time we return to the train," said Phileas Fogg, thinking. They had gone a few paces when a voice called them after. "Stop right there!" Phileas Fogg, Passepartout, and Mr. Fix turned to see 3 men had approached on the hotel step. Each one had a pistol hanging in the hospital at their hips. "I don't want to stop up your journey," said the first man, "but we'd be grateful if you would kindly leave the green carpet with us. There is nothing of any worth inside," said Passepartout. I decide that," said the man, and stepping forward with 2 company. All 3 had their hands on their guns, ready to draw and shoot. His father quickly whispered to Passapartout and Fix, "Let them have of the bag. I don't want anyone killed here. Our lives and are more importantly." The men moved closer. Suddenly, Passapartout drew out a bag and screamed, "Draw!" The three gunmen stopped on their tracks, each of them pulling the pistol. Also, it did so. Passapartout flinked back like his jacket and surprised everyone by drawing his own gun and with remarkable speed. Never was a gun drawn quickly, and never were three short fire so rapidly. The first shot sent the gunman's hat flying. The next sent the second man's gun into the air. The last piece of the third man's shoulder. All three ran for their lives. Phileas Fogg, for the first time in his life, was truly astounded. "When did you learn to shoot like that?" he asked. "Remember my circus days, monsieur?" Passepartout explained. "Yes, I rode an elephant, but I was also a sharpshooter. I learned to shoot like in the circus. I wasn't called Pistol Passapartout for nothing, monsieur." "Well done, my man," said Phileas Fogg. "Wonderful," said Fix, who was still shaking with fear. He had these days, and a London detective was about to end, and the black weather goes down and called Donald, as it was. But the danger wasn't over yet. And suddenly, the heard a voice the counter, sounding from the train. "Everyone aboard!" he cried. "And quickly!" He was beginning to "We're being attacked by Indians!" Phileas Fogg, Passepartout, and Fix raced for their lives. And that's all for today. See ya!